Hi, how is everyone? Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited for today. We're going to have so much fun. I'm just trying to get everything set up here. Still really new at this. So, just making sure I'm going live for real here on the computer. It says that I'm live. So, as you come on, just let me know where you're from. I don't see me coming on. This is kind of worrying me. Oh, here we are. Here we are. All right. So welcome, welcome. I hope you are so excited to dive into your scraps and make a beautiful quilt. Let me mute this. All right. This is my husband's computer. Okay. Now you won't hear me again as I'm making sure I'm working. So, hi Eve, how are you? Welcome. So happy to have you. And hello, Helen. Oh, Helen, I just love ya. Thanks for joining us. She's from the UK and she is a part of my Discovering Hidden Quilts. And she did this workshop last time and her quilt turned out so great. It inspired me to do more scrappy background in this quilt that I've done since I gave the original Scrappy Jumbo Star away to my son and daughter-in-law. Good morning, Judy. Welcome to Alberta, Canada. Wow, we are so happy to have you. Thanks for joining. All right, let's just chat here a minute while we wait for people to come on. I hope you're excited to just dive into those scraps to learn about color and value and how they play a role in your quilts and how you can use them for your advantage to make a beautiful quilt. I'm so excited to be here and just share my love of scrap quilting. It just makes me happy and makes me really happy. Hey Pat, good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. So happy to have you. Like I said, it just makes me happy to share this love with others. I think quilters are the most generous and wonderful people in the world. And I just feel in my heart of hearts, like from my Heavenly Father, that I'm just supposed to share this with you, and that as I do so, because you guys are also generous and will share your quilts, that in a small way, I'm making the world a warmer, happier, more loving place. I'm doing it through you. I'm just sharing a little bit, and then through God, it just snowballs and the world just becomes better. And I'm thankful for all of you in helping me do that, and for me to be able to associate with you and to get to know you and to grow and learn from you as I teach also, because I get a lot out of this myself. Okay, I'll get a drink here. Hey, Miss Sassy Frass, I'm glad you're here too. You're well stocked with scraps. That's wonderful, aren't we all? They kind of multiply. So, welcome. All right. So, oh, hey, Lynn. Good morning from New Mexico. Oh, you got the new book. I'm so glad you like it. I had so much fun creating all the quilts for it. It was just, the creative side is wonderful. Probably the writing and all that. I couldn't have done that without the wonderful editors and all the staff at David and Charles, because it's not my strong point. So the creating part I was good at, and I just needed like my sister who helped take pictures, and my friend Ruth who quilted all the large quilts. It was a joint effort. So I'm really glad, Lynn, that you really liked the book. That's wonderful. Thank you. All right. Sorry. So today, we're just going to talk about how this quilt came to be. Like I said, the original one, I designed that for my daughter-in-law and my son as they just got married back in June. I needed to do a quick quilt. I needed to bust through some scraps. My green bin was overflowing. I'm sorry, I have a tickle. So Miss Sassafras is from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Welcome, welcome. Anyway, I needed to design this quilt. It was a busy time in June. I was finally getting to go out and teach a little bit, and I'm sorry. And there was the wedding. My daughter had just come home. She had been gone for 1.5 years, and we were welcoming her home. It was just a really busy time, so I knew that the quilt that I was creating needed to be quick and easy. I was wanting to use up scraps and my green bin. Fortunately, Josh and Alexa, that's my son and daughter-in-law, wanted a quilt that was mostly green. So that fit well into the agenda. So I just dove into that scrap bin. I kind of sketched up my quilt plan, and we'll go over what a quilt plan is and how to design your own here later in the workshop. So I just dove into that scrap bin. Hey Robin, welcome, welcome from Florida. How nice. So I dove into that scrap bin. I just chose scraps based on size. If it was big enough for a whole square, then that's what I did. And if not, then I figured out Scrappy blocks that I could fill in and make the whole square, which was 6.5 inches, to fill up the whole of the star. So that's how that quilt came to be. I was able to put the lid on the green scrap bin when I was done, and I had the wedding quilt, and I had the idea to share that with you guys so that you could do the same thing. So that has worked well, especially since a lot of my teaching has been cut back due to the wonderful C word that we don't want to mention. So that's where we are. So let's go over what we're going to do while we go through this workshop. I have to put my glasses on when I'm messing with the computer. So just put me down in this corner. So in the Jumbo Scrappy Star Workshop, it's a 5-day workshop. We're going to explore mountains of scraps. We're going to go through them. We're going to decide what we want to use. We're going to learn how to do a scrap pull. And then we're going to talk about, well, today we'll talk about how to use the shades, the tones, and use value and color to create interest in our quilts. And we're going to combine all of that together so that each of you can make your own Scrappy Jumbo Star. All right, so we'll talk about design elements and how to make those stand out or kind of blend in depending on what you want to accomplish in your quilt. So depending on how you use these elements in your quilt will depend on how things show up in your quilt. Okay. So this is just a little bit about me. I'm Emily Bailey. I've been quilting for actually I made my first quilt when I was in high school for what my dad called my hopeless chest. But I didn't really get into quilting. I thought I would be a fashion designer when I was younger. But then I had 3 sons, and they didn't think it was cool, and their mom made them cute little knickers and sailor suits. So I started quilting. So I've been quilting. My youngest son is 26. So That's when I really got into quilting. By the time I got a beautiful daughter, I'd stopped sewing clothes. I have made her like one twirly skirt, so I haven't sewn clothes. Hello from Canada, Brenda. It's so nice to have you. So I'm married to a wonderful guy. I just love him to pieces. He's just wonderful. He does the dishes. He has helped me get this setup going. Last time I did this workshop, my daughter's computer was here, and because she's been away at school, I didn't have access. So he helped me figure out a way to do that so I could see what you guys were seeing and know that things were working. Hello, Linda from Indiana. Welcome, welcome. So I'm thankful for him. He puts up with all my creative clutter, and I create a lot of clutter with this fun scrappiness. So love him to pieces. I'm thankful for his love and support. And I love scrap quilting. I probably started scrap quilting just out of necessity, just because when we were first married and the boys were young, we didn't have a lot of money. My husband was in school. It was tight. And I had scraps from sewing clothes and stuff. So in the quilt group that I joined in my guild, they were very generous and they would share scraps. So that's kind of why I got started in it. But it just has a special place in my heart. My mom would give me scraps when we were growing up. I got my first machine from my mom. She had won that at the state fair for a dress she had sewn for me, and she gave that to me, and she would give me scraps. And I got that machine when I was 10, and my friend Jennifer and I would get on that machine with those scraps, and I would guide the fabric through, and she would push on the pedal, and I would say, "Step on it, sister," and we would sew scraps. So that may be another reason why I just have a place in my heart for scraps, because Jennifer and I had a ton of fun with the scraps my mom shared with me. So I have been actually designing and teaching quilting for the last 15, 16 years. My daughter was in kindergarten. She's now in college when I started. So yes, it's been a fun adventure, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And I do so enjoy working with other quilters because, like I said, you guys are generous and wonderful, and I always feel included. I don't have to worry when I go somewhere where I don't know anyone, because everyone is so friendly and kind to me, and I thank all of you for that. So hi, Tina from Illinois. Welcome. All right. So for this week, like today, we're going to talk about color and value and talk about how they work in a quilt. And then tomorrow we will talk about creating a design plan and how you can work up your design before you start sewing. So you kind of have a general idea of how things are going to work out and look in your quilt before you dive into your scraps. Then on Wednesday, we're going to gather those large parts. We'll figure out how many squares you're going to need for the plan that you designed, what you're going to need for your star points, and how to make sure those points stand out. On day 4, that's Thursday, we're going to go into the smaller units. What do you want to use? Do you want to do half square triangles? Do you want to do 4 patches, pinwheels? We will discuss how to do those different units. Okay, and then on Friday, we will throw things up on the design wall. We'll talk about how you can adjust and move things around, what you might want to do in that way, so that you get the quilt that you really want, and it really is something you're proud of and feel good about. So that is our itinerary. Hey, welcome to Kathy from Ontario and Cindy from Minnesota. We're so happy to have you. All right, let's keep moving. So with color and value, color is like the hue, or like red, yellow, blue, green. Those are our colors. And value is the lightness and darkness of the hue. So some colors like blue can get very, very dark and light, like from navy all the way up to like sky blue. We have and baby blue, that we have a whole wide range. Yellow is harder to get the really, really dark. You can get darker yellows and your golden and things, but and it gets really, really light. It's easy to get in the lights with the yellow. So color gets all the credit for the work in a quilt, but it's really value that does all the work and makes things pop and work. And I forgot to mention, if you haven't got your workbook, it should be emailed to you as soon as you sign up. So make sure you check your email if you haven't got it. Just like do a search for Jumbo Scrappy Star Workbook, so that you can get that, and then you can go through and answer the questions that are in there, and it has the plan for you to design your own plan. So make sure that you get your workbook. It's free and available to you. My friend Holly did a beautiful job creating it. So make sure you get that so you can use it along in the course. Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. So knowing, back to our color and value, knowing how those play off of each other and how they work in your quilt will help you to create interest and places where things blend and places where things pop, so you can get the look that you want in your quilt. All right. I say that a lot. I know that as I edit my videos. Anyway, if you're not feeling confident in a fabric pull, like you don't feel like you're really good at color and knowing what goes together, you're probably overthinking it, and you're probably just really being hard on yourself, because I know each of you can dress yourself in the morning and you probably rock whatever style you're wearing. So like my son, my middle son, the one that got married, he has the best style, but growing up, when he would dress himself, his favorite outfit was a Hawaiian shirt with camo pants and cowboy boots. But he is a handsome, well put together man now. So he knew how to put it together then, and he is good at it now. So don't really worry about your fabric pull. I'm going to give you some tips here that will help you so that you can feel confident in the fabric pull that you're creating. And that will give you, as you gain more confidence, you will be able to do better and not second guess yourself. Really just don't overthink it, because like I said, you know what you like, and you can look when you're looking at what you've pulled together with these tools that I'm about to give you and see whether you like how things are going together. All right, there I am again. So the first thing you can do when you're doing a fabric pull is you can choose a color family. You can do a monochromatic quilt like I did with the first Jumbo Scrappy Star, where it was all green. And just you can create a lot of interest with just one color just by using the different shades and tones of that color. So that is one option that you can use, is a monochromatic option. So then also the next color family that you might want to use using the color wheel are to do like your warm tones, which are your reds, your orange, your yellows, and do a quilt based around those colors. Or you could do the cool colors, which are your greens and blues and violets. Those you can put together and create a quilt around that. And just remember to use the value of the lights and darks in those different hues. So another color wheel option that you can use is to do like primary colors like red, yellow, and blue, or the secondary colors, which are orange, green, and violet. Or you can try just doing tertiary colors, which are the colors that are just touching on the color wheel. So you could do like yellow, green, and blue, or you can do violet, red, and orange and mix that way. So just by going by what's adjacent to each other on the color wheel, you can put together a fabric pull that will be pleasing. Hey, Joni, we're glad you're here. All right, another theme or way to pick fabric is through a theme. Like you can pull out your Christmas colors. You could do the traditional Christmas colors like red and green, like silver, gold. You can put those together, or you can do the more modern where we have the teal and the pink and things going on now and do a color pull that way. You can do patriotic with your red, white, and blue, maybe throw in some gold. That's another way that you can pull fabric. Spring colors like pastel-y and kind of things, that's another idea. One of the jumbo Scrappy stars, I should have pulled that picture in, that was done last time we did this workshop. They did a Halloween pull and their star just turned out wonderful. It's very fun and spooky. You can go with a fall theme like I have done with this newest jumbo Scrappy star. So you can pull your reds, yellows, golds. I did some purple in there. So just this example that I have here is just brights and solids. So that is my Hello or Sunshine on a Cloudy Day quilt. So those are some options if you want to pick a theme to pick your colors around in addition to the color wheel. Another way that you can do a fabric pull is to find a fabric that has lots of different colors in it and one that you just love. So if you love it, you know you like those color combinations. And so then you can go to your scrap bins from that fabric and you can just pull based on the colors in that fabric. But remember to go lighter and darker than the colors that are in that fabric. So if there's orange in that fabric, make sure you get some light oranges and dark oranges. If there's blues, make sure you go on both extremes of that color, because the more value you have in it, the more you're able to create interest. All right. So with value, when there's high contrast, like there is with my shooting star quilt with the blue background there, blue wall, there's high contrast there, so the stars really pop and jump out at you. And you can really see the difference. Whereas there's like low contrast in my gradation quilt, where it goes from the darks down to the lights in the gray, and then there's just sprinkles of scrap throughout. Those all just kind of blend together. Now, both will create a beautiful quilt, but depending on what you're trying to achieve, you may want to have the pop and the interest of the high contrast, and in other areas you may want to have it blend and come to and not really stand out. So those are things to take into consideration as you are doing your pull and what you're trying to accomplish in your quilt. Hey Sandra, you're just up the road in Layton. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you, neighbor. All right. So here's a little trick that you can use when you are trying to figure out value. Because sometimes when you're looking at fabrics, it's kind of hard to tell if that's a light or a dark. So what I like to do is I just put my camera on grayscale. You can do that with your phone or whatever kind of camera you're using. If you go into the effects and just pick grayscale, then you can look over your fabric pull and you can see, are there ones that read almost black, and are there ones that read white or almost white and very light gray, and then have a range in between. You want to have that range because that is where the interest will come in your quilt. If everything is all the same kind of gray, everything's just kind of going to mush together. Excuse me. So you're going to want to play with that values. So the trick is just to put your camera on, and then you can kind of see, because some of these yellows, I thought they would be darker, and I thought that my red that is on the bottom down there, like the one picture with the color is the same as the one in black and white. It's just that they're black and white. But my reds never got very light. So that's just a way that you can kind of see visually without having to guess where your value is, so that you can see how things kind of pop. Like I also like walking by. I always put things up on my design wall, and there's always stuff up there. But as I'm walking by at night and there's not a light on in that room, I can really see visually in my quilt how things are coming together, and if I've got a good value range and things are standing out and sinking into the background based on their value. So just a little trick. Excuse me, sorry. Yes, Tina, I will tell you where to go to get the workbook. If you have signed up for the Jumbo Scrappy Star, when I post this and it goes so you can watch it again. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. And it's a scam. It's probably somebody trying to sell me my extended warranty on my car. Sorry. I will put the link for where to go to get the workbook. Yes, Tina, I want to make sure that you get that workbook. So yeah, I'll put that in there. All right. So if you are enjoying what you are seeing in this class, hello, Gloria from Tennessee. We're happy to have you. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing in this class and you want to take it deeper and farther, I've opened the doors. Like I mentioned before, that Helen is in my Discovering Hidden Quilts class. I've opened the doors for that. We would love to have you join us in there. Once you sign up for the class, you will have unlimited access to that class for the lifetime of the class. So I plan to keep it up there, and I plan to keep doing these workshops. And I tweak and I listen to your feedback. I do want it to be a class that you really enjoy. And I'm there for you to answer questions, to help you with all the steps along the way to creating your scrap quilt. In Discovering Hidden Quilts, we not only talk about the value and design, there are dozens of block patterns in Discovering Hidden Quilts for you to take and to make. We talk about scaling those units and blocks so you can make them big or small, kind of like I have taken the star and just made it big so we could fill it in. We talk about scaling all the different units so you can take half square triangles, flying geese, 4 patches, all of that, and scale them bigger or smaller so that you can use that to create interest in your quilts. We throw up the blocks on the design wall, and I show you how by twisting and turning those blocks you can create lots of different other patterns. And by combining blocks, how you can create alternate patterns. So we do that in Discovering Hidden Quilts. If you sign up for Discovering Hidden Quilts while this workshop is going on, you will get this bonus content of turning your scraps in. So this bonus content takes 2 more of just a basic block that I've taken and blown up like I did the Scrappy Star. And from there, there's 2 patterns in there. There's this heart, which apparently I didn't get it all into the slide. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing technically. I can put a quilt together, but don't ask me to do a PowerPoint apparently. So there's the heart and there's also a sphere and for each of those jumbo options, I've given you 3 examples of how you could fill them in to kind of get your creative juices going. So if you go to AuntEmsQuilts.com, there are my latest, I think it's my latest blog post. It may be the one just before that, but it gives a link to going to Discovering Hidden Quilts, so you can sign up for that and be a part of our party in there, busting through our scraps and turning them into beautiful quilts. With this bonus content, you get the 2 bonus patterns. You get 6 quilt plan designs, 3 for each. Besides the heart, you also get the sphere. And then there are 7 block options to help you fill in your jumbo block. So that's all available, but it's only available while the workshop is going on. It's just a bonus content. Helen, I will send this bonus content to you and anyone else who is already in the jumbo or is in Discovering Hidden Quilts. You will get this bonus content. I want you to have it also. Thanks for being in the class. But everybody else, as you sign up, if you sign up from now to Friday, you will get this bonus content. Does anybody have any questions? I thank you all for joining me. I hope that you have enjoyed this workshop. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow where we will discuss how we will do a design plan and we will draw up some design plans. So I will ask for options from you and we can kind of put some of your design plans up and see how they look. So that's what we will do tomorrow. I'm just wondering what questions you have. I'll wait here a moment because I know there's a little bit of a delay. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have fun in this workshop, and I hope that you will join me in Discovering Hidden Quilts, that we can take this farther and we can take our scraps and our our stash and turn that into beautiful quilts that we can share with those we love and make the world a better place. Thank you, Helen. I'm glad you find the course inspiring. You are awesome. I'm so grateful for you in my life. Helen has helped me tweak and make things better. I am thankful that she's honest and she gives me good feedback. She is a blessing in my life, as are all of you as we learn together. So I hope you will join me. I will put a link when I post this for the replay that you can go to, or you can go to AuntEmsQuilts.com and get the information there. Joni, I'm excited that you're excited. We're going to have fun in here and we are going to create some beautiful quilts. Also, if you go to my Facebook page, you can join our group page. And then you can share what you're creating so other people can see and cheer you on, and we can all have a fun time learning and growing from each other. So make sure you join the Facebook page so that we can learn and grow together. Thanks so much. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to sign off and have fun going through. Your homework is to do a Scrappy poll. So dive into those scraps and have fun choosing what